This conference will now be recorded.
Right. There's a problem in GoToMeeting. At last, I'm able to generate the ID. Fine. So yesterday we are discussing how to consume the stored procedures from ABAP layer. Okay. So what is the standard way for that? First, we need to create the stored procedure as part of a package. So initially, what we did in the development perspective. Okay, in the development perspective. Okay, in the systems tab we have created one folder, sorry, one package, nothing but a folder. So as part of the systems tab under content, we have created one package called as z my package, right? Yeah, this is a package we created initially. So once a package is created, then what we did, we went to this repositories tab. In the repositories tab, under the package, under our package z my package, we have created the procedure. Yeah, under this particular package we created the procedure. So we right clicked on this and we have created the package. So whatever we do in this repositories tab under your package, this is called as what, design time object. And when you are creating the package, we gave the target schema as sys underscore big, sys underscore big. Okay, so this is a package we have created. We have activated this. The moment you activate this, what happens? A runtime object will be generated. Where we can see that in the systems tab under content only, we have one predefined schema sys underscore big. Yes, Raj, tell me.
Sir, this design time and runtime object is
Huh?
sync both of them, or always if we make any changes on the logic, if we should go to the design time and activate it.
No. The moment you activate your design time object, it will
Okay.
be automatically activated in the runtime object. You need not do it separately for runtime object. Any
No.
changes,
Yeah.
any changes you make it to design time object, anyway will check for the syntax error and will activate. So whatever the changes you make to the design time object, it will be automatically synced with the runtime object.
So
I need not manually activate. Just for showing you people, I came to this particular sysbit schema. Just want to show
okay,
that.
it's like read only. We cannot make changes here.
Yes, yes. The editing can be done only in the design time object, not in the
Okay.
runtime object.
Okay. Sir. Yeah. Clear.
Sorry, I'm checking in the content folder. Na? You have to check it in the catalog folder, right? In the catalog folder, what is the schema I need to check? Sys underscore big schema. Yeah. So under the sys underscore big schema, under procedures, yeah, you can see this is the runtime object. This is a runtime object which got generated automatically. Okay. So this is a design time object which we stored under our package. The moment you activate this, a runtime object gets created under sys underscore big schema. Done. Okay, so far it's fine. Now what we need to do? We need to consume this particular procedure from the ABAP layer. So for that, what you have to do is we have to create something called as database procedure proxy. Okay, we need to create database procedure proxy. So what I'll do is, yeah, in order to create the database procedure proxy, we need to switch to ABAP perspective. So far we are using development perspective. So let me switch to ABAP perspective. So on the top right hand corner on the toolbar you can see we have different perspectives here. We have development perspective, we have modular perspective, Okay, ABAP perspective. So let me switch to ABAP perspective. I'll just click on this. Yeah, it has opened what? ABAP perspective. Okay. Now in this ABAP perspective, we need to create the what? Database procedure proxy. So this is my instance. This is the instance related to our application server. This will come automatically. So when I expand this, it is asking me to connect to what? Application server. So far in the development perspective, initially we are connected to what? Database server. HANA database, we gave the credentials. Now in the ABAP perspective, whatever the code changes we do, we are going to connect to what? Application server. Okay. So what I did here, I'm in the ABAP perspective. If I expand my instance, which is available by default, if I expand this, it is asking the credentials to connect to the application server. So let me just give it done. It is connected. Okay. Now here we have local objects and we have something called as packages. Okay. So what you can do in order to create the database procedure proxy, okay, in order to create the database procedure proxy, I can directly create that under local object, or you can create that inside a package, inside a package. So I can say new, okay, I can create what? ABAP package. Whatever the package I create in this ABAP perspective, we can see that in what is that? Object navigator. In our normal ABAP, we have SC18 object navigator. So whatever the package I create in the ABAP perspective, it is the same package that we create in what? SC80. Okay. So I can create the package. How to create the package? Right click on your instance, new, what? ABAP package. So if I create any package, this package I can view it in what? SC80 also, in our object navigator. Okay. Instead of creating the package, I can directly create under what? Local object. So the only change is if you create it in a transportable package, it will ask you for the change request. If you save it in the local object, it will not ask you for any change request. So for the time being, let me create that in the local object only. So what is the agenda now? I need to create the database procedure proxy. So directly under local object, let me create. So right click on this, new, new. Yeah, you can see here. We don't have any database procedure proxy here. So just choose one. Other ABAP repository object. So I'll choose this. Yeah. So somewhere here, you'll have that database procedure proxy. Yeah. Under dictionary, you can observe here under dictionary, we have what? Database procedure proxy. So we need to create this. I'll repeat this once again. Earlier we were in development perspective. In the development perspective, under systems tab, under the content folder, we created one package. Once we create the package, then in the same development perspective, we switch to what? Repositories tab. Under your package, we created what? One stored procedure. Okay. We have written the business logic. We have activated that particular stored procedure. Whenever we activate the stored procedure, what happens? A runtime object gets created under what? Sys underscore big schema. Then our agenda is what? I should able to consume that procedure from the ABAP layer. In order to consume that from the ABAP layer, we need to create what? Database procedure proxy. Where we can create the database procedure proxy under what? ABAP perspective. So I switch it to ABAP perspective, then I connected to my application server. In the sense, when I try to expand this, it will ask you for the credentials initially. I gave the credentials to connect to the application server. Then I can create the database procedure proxy under a package or directly under what? Local object. So since we don't have any package here, I directly created it under what? Local object. So how do you create? Right click on this, right click on the local object or any package. say new, choose what? Other ABAP repository object, then somewhere under dictionary, choose what? Database procedure proxy, say what? Next. Say next. Done. It is asking me the name of the what? Name of the what? Proxy. Name of the proxy. Okay. Once again, what is the name of our procedure? Let me switch to development perspective. Yeah, this is my name of the procedure. What is that? Read underscore employee underscore data. So I'll try to provide the similar name. So let me go back to ABAP perspective. Then somewhere under this local object, I'll right click on this, say new, other ABAP repository object under dictionary, choose what? Database procedure proxy, say next. It is asking the name of the proxy. You can give any name. Okay, let me give a meaningful name. I'll give it as something Z read emp data underscore proxy. Read emp data underscore proxy. Okay, so my stored procedure name is read underscore employee underscore data, read underscore employee underscore data, and the database procedure proxy which you are creating now is what? You can give any name. I am giving it as z read emp data underscore proxy. Any name you can give. Done. So provide the description. Let me give the description as proxy for database procedure read underscore employee underscore data. Some meaningful description. So provide the name of the proxy, which is user defined. Then it is asking for which HANA procedure you want to create. For which HANA procedure you want to create the proxy name. So put the cursor here. I need to provide the what? My database procedure name. So I need to search for that. So I don't have any F4 kind of thing here. But if you want to search, you can see we have an assistance here. You have to press Control plus space. Control plus space. You can see the tooltip here when I put the cursor somewhere here. What is saying here? Yeah. Content assistant available. Control plus space. So when you choose Control plus space, it is going to show you the procedures that are available. So I'll choose Control plus space. Yeah, it is loading. Am I clear? I don't have F4L. So if you want to see that list of procedures, say Control plus space. Somewhere here you'll have the procedure name. Let me check. Read underscore employee underscore data. Acha, we have two things here. One is under zgen package, another is under what? Z my package. What is our package? This one is a Z my package which we created yesterday. So I'll choose this read underscore employee underscore data. So you can see here this procedure is suffixed. Sorry, it is prefixed with what? My package name. Z my package dot so and so. Done. Then based on your proxy name, SAP will automatically propose one interface. SAP will automatically propose one interface. What is the naming standard here? Z if underscore Z read emp data underscore proxy. Z if underscore Z read emp data underscore proxy. Okay. So if you want, you can change it, but I don't want to change the standard naming convention. Let it be like that. Am I clear so far? Any questions so far before I continue? Right. So if you don't have any questions, so what we did here, we are trying to create the database procedure proxy in the ABAP perspective. For that, we have to give some user-defined proxy name. Any name you can give. I gave this one. Then for which procedure you want to create the proxy. So in this particular field, we need to press Control plus space. It will show the list of the procedures available. Choose your appropriate procedure. And on top of this proxy name, SAP will automatically propose one interface. Okay, we know in our normal object-oriented web we have interfaces concept. So it is proposing some interface name. So why we require this interface, we'll understand that going forward. I'll say what next. So when I say next here, right? So it is not asking for any request. The reason is we have created the proxy in the local object. Okay, say finish. Done. Good. Yeah. So this is your procedure name. What is that? Read underscore employee underscore data. What is your proxy name? Z read emp data underscore proxy. What is the interface procedure it has proposed? Z if underscore Z read emp data underscore proxy. And yeah, I believe our procedure contains one parameter. Our procedure contains one output parameter, which is referring to a database table E underscore department. And that E underscore department, I believe, it contains what? 5 fields: EMP ID, ename, designation, so and so, so and so. Done, 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 done. Okay, good. So you can see here, just try to understand this. At the HANA database level, what is the data type of this particular parameter, this particular field EMPID integer? Here you can see at the ABAP layer, it is taking it as what? I. I indicates what? Integer. Here I took n varchar of 20. Here it has automatically took it as what? C length 20. Then somewhere I got decimal. Further it is proposing what? Pack. In our ABAP layer, we have packed data type, no? Packed data type. So it is automatically taking what? Pack. So I don't have any issues here. All the data types are compatible. All the data types are compatible. In this case, all the data types are compatible.
I have one question here.
Yeah, yeah, please.
Yeah, but here you are saying the compatible, okay? But the decimal 15.2, you are using the pack length 8 and decimal 2 in the ABAP type. So suppose sometimes I go and take something in a different way, the float or something. Is it okay?
Mhm.
Is it what?
Yeah. Anyway, I'll show one more example tomorrow.
Ah,
Tomorrow, what I do is wantedly, I'll take some data type like varchar. In our table, I took the database n varchar, na? So
mm,
I'll take it as varchar. So if I take it as varchar, there is no compatible data type at the ABAP layer. So it is going to give the error. Means as of now, not all the data types are compatible. Okay, not all the data types are compatible. So if you get any error in this screen, what you have to do, you have to go back and change the data type at the database level. Okay, then only it will be compatible. So my answer is not all the ANA data types are compatible with what ABAP data type. So in this case, what are the data types I took? They are compatible. Tomorrow, what I'll do? Wantedly, I'll take it as what? Something like what? Where I
float.
don't have float. I
Mm,
don't have float. At the ANA database level, I think I don't have float, but I'm having varchar. So I'll take varchar. So here in this screen, I'll get an error. So the only solution for that is you have to go back and change the data type at the database level. I cannot do anything at the ABAP layer.
yeah. Even the data length also, sometimes, data length is not matched, then it will go to the dump in the ABAP side. So
Yes,
this
we
here
need to
also.
we
Mm.
need to make the adjustment at the database level only. We cannot control it at the ABAP layer.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the reason yesterday I told that instead of taking it as n varchar, I told you to when you're practicing, I told you to take it as varchar. Anyone tried it?
Yeah, I tried it, Sridhar,
Mm.
but
Yeah.
while
Mm.
while executing the table, it is
Mhm.
okay. It is created, but
Correct. It will
at the time
create.
of yeah, at
Mm.
the time of creating entry, it is not allowing me to save the record. It is
No,
giving error saying.
entry also, I believe it should work. Entry also, it should work. No issues. But when
Mhm.
you're trying to create the proxy, will get the error. Anyhow,
Okay,
I'll show it
okay,
live in the next example. Okay.
no problem, no problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Done. So here, these are the parameters of the procedure. Fine. Now you can see there is a button here called as synchronize. Okay, Raj, just now you asked. Okay, do you have any sync between design time object and runtime object? Means yes, automatically there will be a sync between the design time object and runtime object. Means any changes you make to the design time object, we need to reactivate the design time object, that changes are automatically reflected to the runtime object. But assume that initially we have created the proxy for that particular database procedure. Okay, it's fine. Now, later point of time, you have done some changes to your procedure. I mean to say, you might have added some additional parameters, or you might have deleted some parameters, or you might have done some changes in the business logic. Okay, so that changes should be reflected to the existing proxy. So for that purpose, we need to click on what? Synchronize button. So when I click on synchronize button, the latest definition of the procedure will be considered. So here in this case, explicitly, we need to manage the synchronize. But between design time and runtime object, automatically the synchronization is maintained. Okay, so as of now I have not done any changes to my procedure, so even if I don't click on the synchronize button, I will not get any issue. Done. Let me save it. That's all. Proxy is created. Let me save the proxy. Check for the proxy. Activate your proxy. I'm activating the proxy is what? Activated. Done. Okay, so what is the next thing we have to do here? We need to consume this particular proxy. We need to consume this particular proxy from the ABAP layer. So just observe this. This is the interface which is automatically proposed by SAP now. So if I click on this, just observe it. If I click on this, yeah, why like that? Let me try to open that in the class builder. I told that this is an interface now. It's a global interface. I'll try to open that in the class builder. So let me open SAP GUI. Okay, I can directly open from here. I can directly open from this one, or from the HANA Studio only. I can open my particular what? SAP GUI. How do you open here? Somewhere on the application toolbar, we have a button what? Open SAP GUI. So let me just click on this. Yes, for this instance only. Say OK. Done. It has opened the GUI. I'll go to class builder SC24. Yeah, what is the interface name it is showing here? Z if underscore Z read EMP data underscore proxy. Z if underscore what? Z read EMP data underscore proxy. Done. Let me display this. Good. So you can see it. It has opened that particular interface. What is the begin of ITAB, EMP ID, ename, EMP digit, salary, department number, so on. So. Okay. So in this interface, there is a types declaration. In this interface, there is a types declaration which has got some 5 fields. How to use this we'll understand now. Done. So we are able to open that. Now let me try to consume. So I'll go to SC38, Z call DB proxy. Some name I'm giving, Z call DB proxy. Create, call database proxy. Type of program is what? Executable program. Okay, let me save it in the local objects. Done. Yeah. Now, what is the agenda here? I cannot directly call the stored procedure. I should be able to call only the proxy. So, whatever the parameters are there for a procedure, the same parameters are associated with a proxy also. No? So, this is my what? Database procedure proxy. It has got one parameter. What is that parameter? ITAB. It has got one parameter item. What is this parameter? Exporting. So exporting means my procedure is going to return. Out parameter is nothing but what? It is going to return. So I am interested to receive it. So in order to receive it, see here, data, just try to understand what I'll do. Data, I'll say something T underscore itab, T underscore itab type. SAP has proposed one interface. Na? What is the interface name? Z if underscore Z read EMP data underscore proxy. So let me refer to this interface. I'm referring to that interface. Again, in object and ABAP, we know how do we refer to the components of the interface. If you are referring by using interface name, directly I can use implies operator. What is the parameter in that? Yeah, good. You can see here, I'm having a smart help here. Implies what? ITAB. Okay, so I'll refer to this particular ITAB. ITAB type table of, sorry, type table of, because it's an internal table. Then I require a work area. So I'll say data WA type implies what? ITAB. That's all. So what I did here, I declared an internal table and I declared a work area. Is it clear to everyone? Okay, I'm having one global interface which is proposed by SAP. In that interface, we have one component called as what? Types declaration. How do we access the components of the interface by using the interface name? You have to say interface name followed by implies operator, implies iType. So I declared an internal table, then I declared a work area. Okay, now let me try to call the procedure. Sorry, let me try to call the proxy. So in order to call the proxy, see here, we have a statement call what? Here you can see here, I'm getting a smart help here, call database procedure. Yeah, what is that proxy name? We need to call the proxy name. What is that? zread emp data underscore proxy. zread emp data underscore proxy. zread emp data underscore proxy. Done. Export becomes import now. So I'll say importing. What is the parameter name we have observed? What is the parameter name? ITAB, right? So I'll say importing ITAB is equal to what is the local internal when I declare T underscore ITAB. That's all. So whatever the internal table is going to export, I'm importing in my local internal table, and the rest of the process we know. If T underscore ITAB is not initial, okay, if T underscore ITAB is not initial, if it is not empty, okay, I'll just loop that internal table, loop at what? T underscore ITAB into what? WA, I'll say end loop, okay, right. What are the fields in that? EMP ID, ename, EMP desig, salary, and what? Department number. So write what is the WA hyphen, sorry, WA hyphen EMP ID. I'll do one thing. Let me give meaningful name. T underscore EMP. Here also W underscore EMP. I'm just giving a meaningful name. T underscore EMP. Here also I'll say if T underscore EMP is not initial, loop at T underscore EMP into what? W underscore EMP. W underscore EMP. Here also W underscore EMP hyphen employee ID. What else? W underscore EMP hyphen ename. W underscore EMP hyphen. See here, I'm getting the smart help. Okay. EMP does it. EMP does it. W underscore EMP hyphen. What else? Salary. I'll take salary. Then W underscore EMP hyphen what? Department number. That's all. And look, so let me save it. Check for the syntax. I don't have any errors. Let me activate this. Yeah, it's activated. Let me try to execute. So as usual, how do we execute the ABAP program? F8. I'll say F8. Oh my God. I got a runtime error. SQL error 258 has occurred during execution of a database procedure. I got a runtime error occurred during execution of database procedure. Database error take insufficient privilege.
Can you
Insufficient privilege.
you can scroll down and see where is the exact line? Getting
Yeah,
scroll
yeah,
down.
I'm just trying to understand. Insufficient privilege, not authorized. Okay, so if I scroll down here, I'm having the issue here. When I'm trying to call the proxy, I'm getting the runtime error. Okay, so what is the runtime error here? You can see here. If you go back, it is saying that insufficient privilege. Okay, So
Maybe authorization.
correct. So I'll do one adjustment. So sometimes you'll get these issues. Okay. So these things are to taken care by administrator. Now here what I'll do is, okay, I don't have the permission to execute that. Okay. So I'll do one thing. Yeah, I'll do one small changes here. See the changes. Okay. Yeah. Let me close this things. See the changes that I'll do is, okay, better I close all these things. See, I think one adjustment I can, this is my runtime object. I'll go back to my design time object. So this is my design time object. Okay, where to go that? In the development perspective, under what? Repositories, under your package. If I double click, yeah, it has opened the design time object. So one thing I'll do is, yeah, one change I'll do is, here, what is the SQL security mode here? Invoker. The SQL security mode is invoker. Yesterday I told you that there are two modes here. One is invoker, another is definer. Invoker means it will make use of the authorizations of the caller. Okay. So I'll do one small adjustment. Since the caller doesn't have the permissions, I'll choose this as definer. Okay. What is the adjustment I'm making? I'm changing the SQL security mode to definer. Means it will make use of the authorizations of the owner of the procedure. Owner of the procedure means whoever has defined this procedure. It will use the rights, it will use the authorizations of the procedure. So this is the change I'm doing in the design time object. Let me save it. Check for the syntax error. I'm checking for the syntax error. Activate this. Then it is successfully activated. So this is a change I have done in the design time object. It should be reflected to what? Runtime object. So let me go back and check in the systems tab. In the systems tab, under what? Sysbig schema. Yeah, what is the procedure name? Read underscore employee underscore data. So if I double click on this, yeah, this is the runtime object. Is it reflected here? Is it synchronized here? Let me check. SQL security, good. What is this? Definer. Okay, what are the changes I have done in the design time object? It is automatically synchronized, automatically reflected in the runtime object. Done. Okay, so there is some change in my procedure definition. So now what I have to do? I have to synchronize that proxy with the latest definition of the procedure. So what I'll do is, let me go to what? ABAP perspective. So this is my ABAP perspective. Let me open that proxy. How to open? Yeah, somewhere under local objects only I created. Now I'm in the ABAP perspective now. Okay, I switch to ABAP perspective. Under local objects, I believe under DDIC. Yeah, under dictionary, I believe. Not there. Yeah. Okay, under ANA, this one. If we expand this, under dictionary, we have what? Database procedure proxies. If I expand this, what is our proxy? Just now I created this one in a zread emp data underscore proxy. Zread emp data underscore proxy. Let me try to double click on this. Yeah, it has opened my proxy. So since I made the changes in the definition of the procedure, I'll click on synchronize button. So when I click on synchronize button, it will pick up the latest definition of the procedure. So I'll just click on synchronize. Okay, yeah, you can see the most recent definition of the database procedure will be retrieved from the HANA repository. Yeah, say okay. Then it might have what? Pick that. Done. I need to activate this also. So as of now, it is not active. Okay, you can see I'm getting a star symbol here. It means it's not activated. So let me try to activate this. Okay, I'll try to activate. Yeah, the database process successfully activated. Okay, now what I'll do, let me go back and execute this program. Where is it? Yeah, this is a program. I'll try to execute this. Let me save it. Check for the syntax, activate. Sometimes it may not work because of the refresh issues. I need to close everything. I need to execute, but let me try now. I'll try to execute. I'll say fit. Good. I got the data. I got the data. So what is the adjustment I have done? Instead of using the permissions of the invoker, okay, we are telling SAP to make use of the permissions of the owner of the procedure, definer of the procedure. So I got the required output. It is returning me the table data. Na? That's what it has done here. Hope it's clear to everyone. So how do you call that? What is the statement you have to use for that? Call database. Sorry. Call database procedure followed by what? Your proxy name and provide the appropriate parameters. Yeah, is it clear to everyone? Any questions, please ask me. So what is the change I have done in the procedure? The SQL security mode, it was invoker. I have changed it to what? Definer. Definer. That is the change I have done. So when you activate the design time object, it will be automatically adjusted in the runtime object. But we need to synchronize with the proxy which is already created now. So open your proxy definition and click on the synchronize button. When you click on the synchronize button, the latest definition of the procedure would be considered. That's all. That's what I have done, and we are able to execute that particular procedure. We got the required results.
Sridhar, Shiva
Yeah,
here.
tell me. Tell me.
For example, if this procedure we have written it with definer, right? So if we write in real-time invoker, definitely if somebody wants to execute this proxy, they'll get this authorization issue.
Yes,
How this?
yeah, it will be rectified with the basis consultant. They'll give the permission to invoke that particular proxy. Okay, but
For that particular
since
user
yeah
specific, or
for that user for that user. So
so
in
this
this
is
case,
every time step this is,
every
or
time in the sense,
once
no, once a permission is granted, it will work forever till we
ever. Okay,
revoke. Till we
okay,
revoke.
okay.
Okay. So since here we don't know how to set that authorization issues in the related to the HANA administration, the adjustment I am doing is I am changing the SQL security mode to definer.
In
Generally,
the
it should be
database
it,
procedure
yeah.
proxy, we have
Mhm.
writing some code, right? So there, if we can write this, yesterday we written some authorization statement in SQL editor.
That is that
So
is that is when you are trying to what create the procedure, we
yeah,
add the issue. We add the issue
yes,
in creating the procedure. So at that time we have used some grant option to set. That is for creating the procedure. Here the issue
okay.
is what? For calling the procedure.
Calling the
For
procedure.
calling
Okay,
the procedure.
okay,
Understood?
got it. Yeah, yeah. One more question, general
Hmm.
question.
Yeah, tell
We
me.
have ABAP perspective in Studio itself. Is it same
Correct.
as Eclipse ABAP perspective?
Yes, actually, ANA Studio is also Eclipse tool only.
Yeah, yeah,
Initially, I told you,
yeah.
whatever we have in Eclipse, it's the same thing. But in that Eclipse tool, if we install ANA plugins, okay, we renamed it as what? ANA Studio. In the sense, SAP renamed it as what? ANA Studio. But basically, ANA Studio is also an Eclipse oriented tool only. It's
What
the
is the
same thing.
version, Sridhar? Because I am unable to see this ABAP perspective in my studio. Version
No,
of
no, no.
this.
Definitely it will be there. See,
No, I don't have. I
no,
tried to install it, but
even if you don't have here, somewhere
mhm.
in the menu you will have it. So just go to
Okay.
what? This window, go to
Mm-hmm.
window menu, choose this perspective. Yeah, you can see it. Perspective, open perspective. We have different perspectives here. Open
Okay.
perspective, other. So we have different perspective. You can open that. Development perspective. See, we have what? ABAP perspective. Okay, we have development perspective. We have debug
Yeah,
perspective.
I have these options or limited options. ABAP I don't have. Okay, I will try with latest version. I think Eclipse I have in Neon.
Neo.
Maybe yeah, Oxygen will have this. I will try that.
Uh, you can also check it in Juno and Kepler.
Kepler. Okay.
Juno version and Kepler. Mars is also fine. Mars.
Okay. Fine. Fine, Sridhar. Thank you.
But actually, see, one thing is we need not worry about that installing HANA Studio, first of all.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah. That is true.
yeah. Any other questions, others? Done. So tomorrow, what I'll do is we are running out of time for other batch. So tomorrow we'll see one more example. One more example. I'll try to take what data type like varchar. Let's see what is the issue. Okay. So we'll see one more example for the complete example starting from the beginning. Okay. Right. So I'll stop for today. Any other questions, please? Chalo then. Okay. So I'll wind off. We'll meet tomorrow.